Hey everybody, how are you guys? I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Thank you guys for being here. So there's a lot of stuff that I want to go over today. It's been a while though. I haven't been in a live in a while. So I'm glad you guys are here. So I hope you guys are all good. Hope everything's awesome. But I do have a lot of stuff that I want to go over today. So we'll get right into it. Just give me a minute. I'm going to give everybody a minute to get in here and then we will start. Okay. So I don't know. Oh, wait, let me do this real quick. Sorry, give me 1 second. Oh, CY, thank you for the 4 months. You're awesome. All right, let me do this. Give me 1 second, you guys. Okay, so I just started a poll. So if you guys could go ahead and let me know what you guys think on that. And we'll talk about it. All right, so I'm going to go over. I was going to do that first, but what I'm going to do is I'll give people some time to vote on that. And then, yeah. And then, and you have to do the counters in the table, babe. And then, so like I said, I'll give people a minute to do that. And then I got some things, I got some questions. So we'll talk about that after. Hey, everybody. Hey, Muse News. Okay. Well, thank you for being here. All right, so let's get into this. I will, like I said, I will go back. I got a lot to talk about on Alex. But I'm just gonna give people a minute to vote and then we'll go back to that. So let me see where it's at right now. Oh yeah, we've only gotten 8 votes. Okay. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna wait on that. All right. So let's just jump into this then. Hey, Mrs. Kelly. All right, let's go. Let me share this screen with you. Okay. So environmentalists in the streets, hypocrites in the sheets. No protest, no Greta, no Biden, no AOC, no Al Gore. Where are the so-called environmentalists for East Palestine? Right? Because it seems that nobody came to their aid, you know? And you know what's funny is they want to say how the water's safe. It's safe, right? Then how about you take that water, bottle that shit up, right? Send that shit to like the White House, Washington, D.C., Congress. Send that shit to them and make them all drink it since it's so safe to drink, right? You know, I love how they do that, how they tell you, oh, it's so safe, but yet they wouldn't drink it, would they? Okay. So I wanted to bring that up because I think that, you know, every time there's any little thing, you got all these boneheads like Greta Al Gore, all these environmentalists that want to come out and complain about the people's carbon footprint and the climate and yada, yada, yada. But you got a train derailment that's pumped millions of gallons of hazardous freaking material into the air, and not a word from any of them. All right. So I wanted to bring that up. All right, let's go. Let me share this next screen with you guys. Everybody, just please hit that thumbs up when you come in, or thumbs down, whatever you feel you need to do. All right. Justin, train derails outside Detroit, Michigan, at least one carrying hazardous materials. Y'all, this is insane. So we had East Palestine, and then we had Texas, then South Carolina, and then now one in Detroit. And not only that, but then a plastics factory lit on fire and is spewing chemicals into the air in Kissimmee, Florida. I mean, this is crazy. Hold on a second, you guys. When I put these up here, I put them up in order. And then for some reason, when I go to share the screen, it gets all discombobulated. So let me get rid of that. Okay. Let me share this one with you guys. All right. Massive 5-acre fire has broken out at a warehouse storing plastic plant pots in Kissimmee, Florida. Hazmat teams are monitoring air quality due to the large amounts of smoke coming from the burning plastics. Residents with breathing issues should remain indoors. I mean, this is insane. Look at all that. And it's okay. Does nobody see the bigger picture? Does nobody really see what is happening here? This is about, oh my gosh, I don't want to get, okay, this is about, I think these kinds of things happen for a reason. Okay, I will just leave it at that. All right, now let's check this out. This is crazy. You know what's really sad to me is I had somebody yesterday leave a comment on that Ohio video that I made about the train derailment a few days ago. I had somebody comment that they were like, I live in Columbus, Ohio. How do I not know about this? Like, that's how little the MSM is talking about it. That's how little. Even people in Ohio like don't even know about this because they're not talking about it on the news. Like, that is crazy. That should tell you something. That should tell everybody something. Okay, now this, the G, you know, the G, is asking residents in and around the East Palestine area to sign waivers promising not to sue them. That should tell you all right there that they know how much toxins are going into the air. They know that these toxins are going to make people sick, might even kill some people with bad health problems. They know this. That's why they're asking people who live there to sign a waiver. Hell no. Do not sign that waiver. All right, let's watch this clip.
We know where Caitlin Schwartzwalder is tonight. She's right outside the town hall where no officials from the Biden administration or the train company bothered to show up. She's the owner of the Von Schwartz Doberman Kennel in Pennsylvania. She's a dog person. She lives about a mile over the border from East Palestine. And she has just been asked to sign a waiver promising not to sue agencies monitoring the air near her property. We thought that was telling. Caitlin Schwartzwalder joins us tonight with her boyfriend, Chris Wells. Caitlin and Chris, thank you so much for joining us. Caitlin, if you'll just explain your experience with the official who asked you to sign a waiver.
Sure. So what I can tell you is that we would like to have independent testing done. And the people at Norfolk had suggested that they were going to offer services by an independent testing company to do air and water testing for us. When these people came to our property, the company was called CTEH. I call it CTech. And they had approached our property, came to our driveway and said, you know, we're here to test the water and soil. And I said, okay, so you guys are independent from Norfolk. And they said, well, not exactly. So then they handed us a contract. The contract stated that essentially Norfolk or any of its affiliates, you know, were going to be, you know, encroaching on the property. They were going to be doing the testing. And that it was essentially a hold harmless agreement. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but what I can tell you is that I did not want to risk anything for my future, the future of the business, by signing this contract. EPA was also there, and we had asked, Chris specifically had asked EPA if they could come in by themselves or without signing of any agreements, and they denied that.
Well, yeah, I mean, having the company whose train derailed test for the effects of the derailment is a little like putting Pfizer in charge of the FDA. Oh, I guess we did that.
Now that is crazy. That is crazy to me because, like he said, not only are you and they said, you know what's crazy is they said, can you do it separately? Can we have somebody else come in here that's not from Norfolk or not employed by Norfolk or not affiliated with Norfolk to come in and do this? And they said no. What the hell you mean no? This is my house. This is my property. If I want to have it tested by somebody else, I should be able to have it tested by somebody freaking else. But they want to go and tell you no. And oh, hey, here, we can test, but here, sign this waiver before we give you the results. Are you shitting me? I'd been like, all right, you got 5 minutes to get your ass and all your people off my property, like right now. Okay. Let's move on. All right. So did y'all know? Now I'm sure a lot of you know, but did y'all know that they came out with a movie called White Noise, which I've never seen, but it was about a train carrying hazardous materials, hazardous chemicals that derailed in East Palestine, Ohio, and caused everybody to get sick and die. They made a movie about that over like a year ago. And now this happens and people aren't, and you're going to tell me that you don't think freaking they plan things. And you're going to tell me that you don't think that, you know, this is how it happens. You know, everybody wants to say, oh, well, it's in a movie. It's not real. It's fake. Where do you think they get the ideas for the movies from? You know what I'm saying? How many movies have come out in the past that a year or 2 or 3 or 4 years later, that shit actually happens in real life? You know? So let's check out that clip of that movie. And can I just add before I pull this up that it came from Netflix, and Netflix is now a big part of Netflix is owned by who? Does anybody know? OBAMA. Go figure.
You like that protein?
That stuff causes cancer in laboratory animals, in case you didn't know.
Either I chew gum or I smoke.
What are these children? Yours?
That's mine from wives 1 and 3. There's Babette's from husband 2. Wilder is ours. We're each other's 4th.
Life is good, Jack. I hope it lasts forever.
Let's watch a sitcom or something.
No! They're calling it the airborne toxic event.
They won't come this way.
Will we have to leave our home?
Of course not.
How do you know?
I just know.
Okay, what if it's dangerous?
Evacuate all places of residence.
So this is the end, or near to the end. Let's say goodbye,
We have a situation.
beautiful friend.
All we have to do is stay out of the way.
They're passing us, Dad.
Technically, that's illegal.
Do sheep have lashes?
Ask your father.
We're going sideways.
Dad, do sheep have lashes?
Doesn't anyone want to pay attention to what's actually happening?
I wish there was something I could do. I wish I could outthink the problem.
There are 2 kinds of people in the world. Killers and dyers. Most of us are dyers.
Right now we're safe. As long as the children are here, they need us.
For some persistent sense of large-scale ruin, we keep inventing hope.
Now, see, that's what they do. They try to make it look like a comedy. They try to make it look, you know, like it would never happen in real life. But go figure that a year after this movie came out, it freaking happened. I'm just saying. I'm not saying, but I'm saying. All right, let's move on. A woman that lived 10 miles outside of where it happened found all of her chickens dead the next day.
So I walked up to the cage, and this is what I found.
Amanda Brashears was going to feed her 5 hens and rooster this morning when she discovered them all lifeless, practically in the same position, with no signs of a predator entering their enclosure.
I'm beyond upset and quite panicked because they may be just chickens, but they're family.
Brashears says her chickens were alive and well yesterday. She believes the smell following the detonation of the train carrying chemicals that derailed in East Palestine is to blame for her birds' sudden death.
My video camera footage shows my chickens were perfectly fine before they started this burn. And as soon as they started the burn, my chickens slowed down and they died. If it can do this to chickens in one night, imagine what it's going to do to us in 20 years.
That is ridiculous. And not for nothing, but I'm going to say this. Not only is it affecting the water, the air, but it's also affecting people's livestock, which is their food supply. And that's a big one here because you can't breathe in the air. You can't drink the water. You can't, it's getting into it's killing your livestock. So you're not going to have food. This is a plan, you guys. I'm sorry, but it is. All right, let's move on. I know that this kind of stuff is depressing, but you know what? This is reality and people need to freaking talk about it. I'm sorry, but I'm not. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. All right, let me do this. Let me get rid of that one. Okay. Now let's check out why nobody is there doing anything. This is why the media and the Biden administration have been quiet about Ohio. Their corporate overlords are the top shareholders in Norfolk Southern Corp. Check it out. The top 10 owners of Norfolk, Vanguard Group. Now, if any of you have been following me for a long time or even looking into this stuff on your own, you know who all of these people are. The Vanguard Group, JP Morgan Investment Management, BlackRock, SSGA Funds Management, Lazard Asset Management, Capital Research and Management, Wells Fargo. Yeah. These are the top people who own Norfolk Company. This is why nobody's doing anything about it. Well, there's a couple reasons why nobody's doing it. A, this right here, all of these main backers who are, at the top of the pyramid. And then the second reason is to, I believe, make people sick, poison people. Now, that's just my opinion. I'm not telling you to believe that. Think for yourself. All right, let's move on. All right, Palestine, Ohio family moves out of home as sudden headaches and foul smell spark eco-disaster fears. I mean, it's been a little over a week and people are starting to get headaches. They're starting to feel these effects. Chickens are dead, livestock's dying. And already after a week, people are starting to get these symptoms. Imagine how much worse it's going to get for people. All right. Let me mute myself and we'll play this clip.
Works on the other side. He owns a small engine repair shop and raising money to help his family. Nathan Velez is here with us now. So you're not really buying what the public officials are telling you about this. Why are you so suspicious?
Well, it's not that I'm suspicious. It's just they haven't really told me anything useful. And when they...
Now, our next guest lives on one side of the tracks where the train crashed and works on the other side. He owns a small engine repair shop and raising money to help his family. Now, so you're not really buying what the public officials are telling you about this. Why are you so suspicious?
Well, it's not that I'm suspicious. It's just they haven't really told me anything useful. And when they did tell us, we were already given the okay to go home. So there was people already home, and then they released all of the chemicals that were also within that wreck.
Oh, so they told you to return home and then did that controlled explosion?
No. We were evacuated for that. They released the manifest of what else was burned after we were already home.
Now, have you noticed anything crazy? People are seeing all kinds of wild stuff. Does it smell funky? Is the water all murky? What are you seeing?
Well, the water, it's hard to see because there's a lot of hazmat employees and people still cleaning it up. But as far as the smell, that's definitely present. I can't today, where we are right now at my shop, this is the first time I've been here in a week. And I was here 5 minutes and I have a headache right now, and you can smell it. Anyone who comes here who hasn't been here can smell it. Your cameraman smelled it.
Oh my God.
And it gives you a headache. He'll probably have one. Yeah, it's not. And then my house is just across the track. The tracks are right behind me on the other side of that wall. There's a creek, then the train. And my house is on the other side of that, and it smells too. And you can't spend a lot of time here without feeling like crap. And my question is why, if it's okay, if it's safe, and all these people say it's safe, if it's so safe and okay, then why does it hurt?
And you have children?
I do, yeah. I have a son and a daughter, a 9-year-old and a 1.5-year-old.
And they're back in school, or what's the plan here?
Well, she don't go to school yet, but my son does, and they opened today. But we didn't take him because we are not staying here. We haven't been here. We've been staying at an Airbnb in Canfield, and we couldn't figure out if we could take him back. We contacted the school. We don't have a straight answer because they want us to still be residents, but technically we still are. Everything's confusing. Everything is pure chaos right now.
Oh my God. All right, listen, I hope, Nathan, you get better, and I hope it's not as dangerous as some of these reports are. We hope your family's okay, and this thing gets straightened out, because I don't trust what they're telling us. I know you don't either. Thanks so much for joining us. And
not at all.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.
I mean, that is just so screwed up on so many levels. Like, my heart just goes out to all of the residents in the area and all the residents that are affected by this freaking disaster. Okay. All right, now let me go over now, before I move on, let me go over, and I'm going to look at the poll there and see what's going on with that for AM. Okay, so right now we got 32 votes. So if you have not voted on the poll, please vote on that. We got 32 votes with 94% say he's guilty, 6% say no. So I'll give you guys a little bit more time to vote on that, and then we will talk about the Murdaugh trial. Okay. Brandy, it's definitely not safe. Okay, let's move on. All right, this is a little way off subject, but I wanted to bring this tweet up. So who else was there? So a geofence warrant. A geofence warrant, also known as a geofence warrant or a reverse location warrant, is a search warrant issued by a court to allow law enforcement to search a database to find all active mobile devices within a particular geofence area. Courts have granted law enforcement geofence warrants to obtain information from databases such as Google's, which collectors use historical geolocation data. Geofence warrants are a part of a category of warrants known as reverse search warrants. So, if there's such a thing as a geofence warrant, and you can get one issued by the court that will give you all the active mobile devices within a particular area, then why wasn't a geofence warrant issued in Kylie's case to all of the other kids to see who was actually around her phone at that same time? That's a very good question. That is a very good question. Anybody got an answer? All right, let's move on. Yeah, might drop. Okay, this is crazy. Listen to this. A Georgia police officer arrested after naked body of missing 16-year-old girl found in woods. Now, why was the cop arrested, you may ask? Let's see. A police officer in Georgia was arrested on suspicion that he moved the naked body of a missing teenage girl into the woods after she died and then allegedly lied to authorities about it. Okay? Now, just listen. Miles Bryant, 22, of Norcross, has been charged with concealing the death of another and false report of a crime in connection with the death of 16-year-old Susana Morales, whose remains were found more than 6 months after she was reported missing. Bryant, who until his arrest was an officer with the Doraville Police Department, is being held at the Gwinnett Detention Center without bond. It is not immediately clear if he has entered a plea or retained an attorney to speak on his behalf. According to the arrest warrant, which was obtained by Atlanta News First, authorities allege Bryant lived in close proximity to the victim and dumped her body in the woods. His additional charges stems from his alleged false claim to police that his car was broken into and his gun was stolen. Investigators also suspect Bryant of RA and M, but have not charged him with those offenses. Also citing the arrest warrant, Bryant and Morales have no known connection or relationship according to authorities. Morales had been missing since July 26, 2022. That night, Morales' family said she texted her mom around 9:40. Does this sound familiar? Texted her mom around 9:40 saying she was on her way home. But by 10 p.m., she still was not home. Authorities said a location app on her cell phone showed she was walking along a road in the direction of her house between 10:07 p.m. and 10:21 p.m. Investigators believed she may have gotten into a vehicle in the area. The data shows her phone last pinged near Oak Lock Trace, where it remained until the phone died or was turned off, according to the sheriff's office. She remained missing until her body was found on February 6 near State Route 316. Authorities said they responded to the wooded area around 6:30 p.m. after receiving a call from a passerby who spotted what they believed to be human remains. The remains were taken to the Gwinnett Medical Examiner's office and positively identified as those of Morales. whose cause and manner of death remain under investigation. Her family has launched a GoFundMe to cover funeral costs. Her sister, Jasmine Morales, said she's happy someone was arrested in connection with the case. Now, they suspect him of M, but he has not, but he has not been charged with that at this time. Right now, he is only being charged with moving a body. So he is the one, the cop is the one who took the 16-year-old's body after whatever happened, and placed it in the woods and then lied about it. Like, obviously said he had nothing to do with it. Her last known thing was a text to her mother. I'm just saying. It sounds, there's a lot of similarities there. Obviously, I'm not saying they're connected, but what I am saying is anything is possible. You know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm saying. Okay. All right. Now, you guys remember the kid, the big kid, the 15-year-old on the bus who was beating on that 9-year-old little girl? Well, I'm not going to play the video, but here we go again. Taylor Brock has posted video of her son, who's little. He's got to be, I mean, if you watch the video, he's got to be like 8, 9 years old. He was choked on a school bus by a much larger female who, again, I'm going to say is 13, 14, 15. She's sharing the video now because the mom is sharing the video now because the school has done nothing about it. What is happening here? What is happening here? This girl, this big girl, sat down next to this little boy, and he tried to pull his his backpack over to him. And when he did that, she reached around and started choking him out. And she did it a few times in the video. And the school is doing nothing about it. They are telling her that if she feels it's best to remove her son instead of removing the freaking this chick, right? What is happening in schools today? It's so unsafe, and it is so crazy to me that kids are being raised like this, that they think it is okay to do this to other human beings, especially way smaller than you. You know, you think you're all big and bad? Why don't you pick on somebody your own size instead of going after somebody that's way smaller than you, both in age and in weight? Okay? You fucking bully. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is happening here? Ugh. Exactly. I know. See why? That's like, it's very frustrating to me. I'm sorry. I know people don't like to hear people get upset, but man, what is wrong with people? See, and I think people want to make it about race, and it isn't about race, because I would be sitting here saying the same damn thing if that girl was white. You know, I think they are making, like, when they put, like, people make it about race. It's not about race. You know, this is about people thinking that they can treat other human beings like this. This is about kids growing up in homes where they're taught that this is okay behavior. Okay. Everybody, if you have not already, please take a minute, go hit that thumbs up or thumbs down, depending on however you feel. Anybody who wants to subscribe to the channel, please do so. It's a free way to help out the channel. Anybody that wants to donate to help out the channel, links are all down in the description below. Okay. All right, now let's laugh a little bit. You may not think it's funny, but I thought it was hilarious. So let's check it out. before I play this short video clip, listen, I'm not trying to offend anybody, and you've heard me say here before, listen, I'm not left or right. They're both they're different wings to the same freaking bird. So, but this is just funny. I don't care who you are.
Trump or Biden?
Yeah, I go Biden.
What are some of the good things Biden did?
Oh man, the economy itself. I am myself a college graduate, a master's degree.
One thing I love about Biden is I love inflation. He has kind of caused record inflation.
I love inflation. Biden 2024 and Kamala. Agree?
One thing I love about Biden is I love inflation. He has kind of caused record inflation.
I love inflation. Biden 2024.
Oh my God. When I saw that this morning, I was laughing so hard. I almost fell out my chair laughing because he was like, inflation. I love inflation. Biden 2024. Oh shit. That's too funny. I'm sorry. That is too funny. Oh my God. All right. Teenage girl who was missing for more than a year found in a Michigan closet. A 14-year-old girl who was reported missing more than a year ago was reunited with her biological father this week after authorities found her in the closet of a Michigan home. A U.S. Marshals fugitive team found the teen about 5:30 p.m. Tuesday in Port Huron, Michigan. Deputy U.S. Marshal Robert Watson said, "She was pretty upset. She was crying and she was pretty scared," said Watson, who led the fugitive team that found the teen. She wasn't sure what was going to be happening to her. All right, let's watch this short clip.
About a missing teen from Michigan found more than a year after her disappearance.
The 14-year-old girl was reported missing by her foster family back in September of 2021. U.S. Marshals locating the teenager on Tuesday after a tip led them to a Port Huron home.
7 Action News reporter Simon Shayket has more on where the child is now and what we know about her history.
U.S. Marshals say a teenage girl missing for more than a year was found hiding inside a home in this neighborhood.
Shortly after I began interviewing one of the subjects that she was seen with, one of our task force officers called out contact.
U.S. Marshals tell us after being reported missing for more than a year by her foster parents, a 14-year-old girl was found Tuesday hiding in a hallway closet of a home on North Avenue. They say the teen is several months pregnant and was in tears when marshals located her with a search warrant. Others in the home allegedly lied to marshals and denied them entry earlier that day.
She was crying. She was afraid. She was afraid she was going to end up back in foster care. She was afraid that she was going to lose her baby.
Robert Watson is the marshal who rescued the girl, telling us she feared losing her baby and needed help. It's unknown at this point what, if any, relationship she could have had with those in the home.
When police are looking for, or obviously in a pregnant state, that is not appropriate. That's what concerns me.
We've confirmed the St. Clair County Sheriff's Office is also investigating with Port Huron Police. As that continues, detectives looking into possible criminal sexual conduct and contributing to delinquency of a minor.
Who was in the house and what was going on in the house is really probably square one, right? We can find out what was going on, how long she's been there, and work it backwards, hopefully all the way back to the point in which she had run away originally.
For now, the girl is being returned to her biological father. Watson says he's bound to be there if the girl is ever in need of help again.
If you're having a problem, reach out to me and we'll figure it out together. I'll put you in touch with somebody who can help.
U.S. Marshals want to make it very clear they are grateful to those who provided tips in this case, leading to that safe recovery. From Port Huron, Simon Shayket, 7 Action News.
Yeah, that's crazy. I just vote for one of my grandbabies for 2012. All right, let's go on. Oh, okay. Here's an update on that 15-year-old who did beat that girl on the bus. We have an update. Teen student who brutally beat 9-year-old girl will now face criminal battery charges. So that's good. Criminal charges, according to Miami-Dade prosecutors. Good. Criminal battery. And I hope they charge his ass as an adult too. People may think that that's mean, but you know what? Again, you want to act like you're big and bad. We're going to put you in with the big and bad and see how big and bad you are then. And that's just how I feel. Okay. All right, womb transplants for transgender. What the hell was that? Hold on a second, you guys. Okay, I don't know what that was. That was weird. Will soon be possible, doctors say. 45 years after the world's first test tube baby was born, surgeons are preparing for another historical first, transplanting a womb inside the body of a male. This is crazy. This is ridiculous. Several teams are actively working to make uterus transplants for transgender women a reality. Ugh, I can't even. According to an article published in the medical journal Fertility and Sterility, with the first such procedure likely to happen within the next few years, if not sooner. A team at Ohio's Cleveland Clinic, the first in North America to transplant a uterus from a deceased donor into a woman born without one. That is crazy. If the anatomical challenges in transgender women can be overcome, and surgeons have said none seem insurmountable, uterus transplants would make it possible for trans women to gestate and give birth to a child. The baby would be delivered by cesarean section. I mean, if my grandparents could see the world today, my grandma is rolling in her grave right now. Like, this is crazy. But it's the freaking world we live in. In some cases, the donor womb might come from a transgender man, someone who was born female, who is transitioning to male, and who no longer desires a uterus. Others have sketched a hypothetical but plausible case in which a transgender woman who undergoes a uterus transplant carries a pregnancy conceived with her own previously frozen S, raising ethical and legal issues regarding what parental title should be given, mother or father. Do y'all know that now they instead of using the word female, they want to call women, like real natural born women, egg producing person. Egg producing person. Instead of because they want to get rid of male and female, right? You know, I mean, back in the day, we had two genders. Now there's like 800,000. It's crazy, but it's the world we live in. Egg producing person. Huh. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard about this. Adriana Kuch went to a New Jersey high school. She was bullied in school, and then she was beaten in school. The day after this went, so she got beat up in school. The people who did it posted the video online on social media, and she got bullied so bad about it that the next day she ended up taking her own life. She was 14 years old. And three girls got in trouble. They got suspended indefinitely. As far as I have heard, there was an update though today, so I just haven't gotten to that yet. But at that point, they were just suspended. They were not being charged with anything yet. Now they have been charged with assault and something else. But they're trying to decide whether or not they should be charged as an adult. Now, I say the girl, I mean, this is crazy. Every day this is happening to someone's child in these public school systems. What the hell? And nobody is doing anything to stop it. Like, it's just mind-blowing to me. Okay? Not only do I believe that the girl that walked up and smashed her in the face with the water bottle should be arrested, absolutely, and charged with an adult. Again, I will say it again. You want to act all big and bad? You want to put your big girl pants on? Then we're going to put you in with the big girls and see how big and bad you are, after 24 hours in a prison with real badass women. You know what I'm saying? Little girl. That's how it should be. But not only should she be charged, but the chicks laughing and telling, oh yeah, beat her ass, making the video on the phone, they need to be arrested as well. This girl got it so bad that she couldn't take it anymore, and she took her own life at 14. Have you guys all seen this video? See, I think they should be charged with assault. I think they should be charged with battery. I think they should be charged, it's only a short video, but Adriana is just walking down the hall with her boyfriend, and then this girl thinks, oh, now's the time, and she just smashes her in the face with a water bottle 3 times, knocks her on the ground. I mean, smashes her hard in the face, knocks her on the ground, and then, it gets broken up within 30 seconds. Yeah. And then they posted it on social media. They got suspended. They did not get expelled. They got suspended from school. And then I have another article with how the school reacted towards what the father is doing. Yeah, and I think it's those kids that stand there and take the video or stand there and watch the fight happen, watch this shit happen. I think they're just as bad, if not worse. If not worse, standing by idly and doing nothing and watching this shit happen makes you a piece of shit, makes you a piece of garbage, in my opinion. Sorry, not freaking sorry. All right. So that's the video. I'm not going to play it, but that is a video. If you guys want, it's on VidMax. Because me playing this video, you can't really see the girl that did it. You can't see her face. If you could get a close-up of her face, I would play this video. But the only thing that this video does is cause damage to and hurt Adriana. Yes, I know she's gone, but you guys know what I'm saying. All right. But I will read you the article that happens and I will tell you what is going on. Okay. Let me pull that up. Okay, right here. Exclusive. New Jersey schools outrageous smear against girl 14 who took her own life after being beaten by bullies. Superintendent tells the Daily Mail she was on drugs and that father's affair caused mom's suicide 7 years ago. So you've got a school that not only is siding with the bullies, that not only is not expelling them, nothing. They would not call the cops on these students. The father had to do that. They did not call the father or call the hospital or call anybody after this fight took place. You know what they did do? They sent the girl to the nurse's office, and that's it. That's what this school did. So after the father was like, this is bullshit, and started going out and talking about what happened to his child, then the superintendent of the school wants to come out with this smear campaign against the family and the 14-year-old girl who took her own life. This piece of shit superintendent wanting to come out and run his mouth and talk bad about a student who just took her own life and a father who just lost his only daughter. What? This is your reaction to that? Your whole damn school should be shut down. You should be fired immediately, without pay, in my opinion. All right. The heartless superintendent of the school where 14-year-old Adriana Kuch was beaten in the halls 2 days before taking her own life has responded to questions about her death with smears against her grieving family. In astonishing emails to dailymail.com, the superintendent of New Jersey's Central Regional School District, who is paid $190,000 a year to sit on his fat ass and do nothing, said Adriana, who took her own life in her bedroom closet on February 3rd, 2 days after being beaten, had been offered counseling for drugs. He also made a shocking allegation against the girl's grieving father, Michael, a 22-year Army veteran, claiming he had an affair when Adriana was 7 that drove her mother to commit suicide and later moved the woman into the house. Are you kidding me? Oh, I'm telling you, that father has got more restraint and, than I would have had. Let me tell you, than I would have had, because I would have went to that school and shit would have went down. I'm going to tell you that right now. First of all, this guy, this superintendent, who doesn't even freaking know these people, right? Wants to jump out there, run his mouth, and make these accusations. That's not your place, douchebag. That is not your place. Right? How about you address the problems that you got in your own damn school district that you are not taking care of? How about you address those problems? How about you run your mouth about that? That woman is Adriana's stepmother, Michael's wife, Sarah, who spoke with dailymail.com through tears on Friday morning as they prepared Adriana for visitation ahead of her funeral tomorrow. So not only did this piece of shit come out and say this about this girl's family and about this girl, but they did it the day before her funeral, right? The day before the father had to bury his child. Adriana took her own life sometime after 10:46 p.m. on February 2nd. The bullies who'd attacked her were threatening to go after her boyfriend next and had bombarded her with harassing messages all day. Wow. Which comes a week after Adriana's unaliving, where in response to a series of questions from dailymail.com about whether she'd received support from the school, she unalived herself 2 days after being ruthlessly taunted about the attack on social media. This is the superintendent. This guy right here. I'll come down and choke your ass out with that bow tie is what I'd be doing. Fire him immediately without pay. And anybody else who felt the need to disgrace and talk down about this girl and her family. All right, let me finish reading this. Okay. This is what the guy said. He was asked what services were provided to Kuch before she was gone. It's believed she had been relentlessly bullied for some time before her death. After her mother, now this is this guy speaking. After her mother's unaliving, since her father was having an affair at the end of her 6th grade, her father married the woman he had an affair with and moved her into the house. Her grades and choices declined in 7th and 8th grade. We offered her drug rehab and mental services on 5 occasions, but father refused every time. Now, I'm going to break this down for people out there. This guy, first of all, says that the mother was unalived when she was at the end of her 6th grade, right? He had an affair, moved the girlfriend into the home. And in 7th and 8th grade, her grades and choices started decline. We offered her drug rehab and mental services on 5 occasions, but the father refused every time. Now, there is no evidence or paperwork or anything that proves or says that they offered her drug rehab and mental services. There's also zero evidence that she had a drug problem at all. Okay. Now, for this superintendent to say these things about her, so when people were looking at him going, this happened in your school with your students and you are the superintendent, why didn't you do anything about it, right? In which his response was to attack the family, to deflect to deflect off of himself, to take any guilt off of him and to deflect it back to the family and say, no, that's their problem. You piece of shit. You should be fired without pay. You're lucky you're still breathing, because if it was my daughter, I don't think you would be. Happiness. Yeah, for real. For real. She said, love you, CNY. As one CNYer to another, you can take the girl out of CNY, but you will never take the CNY fight out of her. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, man, that father had very good restraint to not want to, All right, let's move on. Now, I'm going to read you the article about the charges that the girls got. Four teenage girls are hit with new charges over attack on Adriana Kuch, 14, who took her life after viral video showed her being kicked, dragged, and punched in a New Jersey high school hallway. The 4 teenage girls involved in the beating of 14-year-old Adriana Kuch, which her father says drove her to take her own life, have been hit with new charges in New Jersey. Kuch was found dead in her room in Bayville on February 3rd, days after a horrific video spread online showing her being set upon by a group of bullies in the hallway. The 4 alleged attackers were initially slapped with third-degree assault charges, and one also charged with disorderly conduct after they were also suspended indefinitely from school. Do you see the word suspended, though? It does not say expelled. They should have been expelled, kicked out, not suspended for a while until the people die down, and then we'll let you back in. They should not be allowed back in. I mean, are you all on crack? What is going on? Is everyone in the world on drugs? Like, for God's sakes. Okay. Okay, so let's see. The 4 alleged attackers were initially slapped with 3rd-degree assault charges, which I don't think is enough, and also charged with disorderly conduct, which ain't shit. Disorderly conduct is like a misdemeanor. That's not enough. That is not enough to get it through other kids' heads that you don't do this shit. And by the way, not for nothing, but you and 3 of your friends piling on top of this tiny little girl, this tiny, she's a small built. So you and 3 of your girls piling on this one girl does not make you look big and bad. It does not make you look like a badass. It's exactly the opposite, because you needed 4 of you on one. You know what I'm saying? It's disgusting. It is disgusting. All right, you guys, give me 1 second. I got to check something real quick. I'll be right back with you. Oh, sugar. Yep. I already got that up. I'm going to talk about that. Yep. I got that up, but thank you. Okay. Let me go over here and see what's going on with this poll. All right. So, all right, let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about Alex Murdaugh, shall we? You guys into that? I know Sass said she's not into it. She's not into that trial. I wasn't either, honestly, but Chad was really into it and he watched it every day. So I kind of got into it. I kind of got hooked on watching it. So, but there is a couple of things that I wanted to bring up. Now, I have not watched any of the trial today. Okay. I have not hold on. I have not watched any of the trial today, so I don't know what happened today, but there is just a couple of things that I wanted to bring up here. Okay. Now, they found unidentified DNA under the wife's nails, under Alex's wife's nails. They found unidentified DNA. Okay. There was 0 blood on his clothes. Now, I'm just going to go through my notes real quick and tell you these are the things that I found important and I wanted to write down. Now, they found no blood on his clothes. There is something going around saying that he went up and took a shower and changed and everything. But again, they did not test the drains, so they do not have any proof of that, actually. What I think is weird is they didn't test Maggie's clothes for DNA, and they didn't test Paul's clothes for DNA, which makes 0 sense to me when you have an unknown, unidentified assailant's DNA under Maggie's nails, right? So yesterday, okay, you know what I'm going to do? All right, I actually have way too much to go over of this, so I'm going to make a separate video for this. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a separate video for all my Alex Murdaugh trial stuff. Because I have it's going to take way too long to get through this plus everything else that I want to cover today. All right, so I will wait on that. Later today, I will be releasing a video. I don't know if it'll be a live or an upload, probably an upload, just talking about the Alex Murdaugh trial and what's going on. But there are a lot of unanswered questions as of right now. And there's also a lot of things that went down in court yesterday that a lot of things that went down in court yesterday that were very questionable. As far as the SLED agent, David Owen, who was the lead investigator on this case, he got caught up in some shit on the stand yesterday. So we'll discuss all of that. Yeah, there's just so much. So I'll do that in a separate video later today. So please look for that. All right, now let's move on. Oh my gosh, did y'all see this video? It's real short. It was on TikTok. But this group of people, they're workers, because you can tell they got helmets on and coats on and shit. They go in there and they're like, oh, you know, like there's a snake hanging from the ceiling. It looks like a HUD home, right? Like a crack den that is unoccupied or something, because it doesn't look like anybody lives in there. But check this out. When I was like, holy shit. Like I might have had a heart attack right at that moment. So let's play this video. Wait, I gotta mute myself. Isn't that insane? I'm like, holy shit, burn that freaking place to the ground. You know, I mean, this guy, he's thinking, oh, I'm just going to pull this. It don't look like that big of a snake. I'm just going to pull that shit down. And then, holy shit, a friggin' anacondas fall out the ceiling. Oh my God. I was like, oh, hell no. Burn that friggin' place down. Holy cow. Yeah, that was insane to me. That video's gotten like 3 million views because it's insane. Okay. I just wanted to throw that in there. It's not important, but that's just crazy. Okay. All right. Hold on one second, you guys. I got to check on my son real quick. Give me just a second. Feel like terrible. Your head hurt? All right. Feet got to be uncovered. I need to get more medicine, more fever medicine. All right, I'll be right back. Hold on a second, okay? Hey, you guys just chat amongst yourself for a minute. I just got to run downstairs and grab some medicine, and I will be right back. Okay, you guys, sorry about that. All right, let's move on. Okay. Wyoming Republicans are criticizing a child marriage bill that seeks to raise the legal age limit to 18. Okay, check this out. Wyoming is one of 8 states that does not have a minimum age requirement for marriage. Do you know what that means? That means that Wyoming is a child marriage. Where are you going? Downstairs. No, come here. Hold on a second, you guys. No. Okay, a new bill seeks to set a minimum age of 18 with an exception for 16 and 17-year-olds with parental consent. There is currently, did you even know that? I didn't even know that we have states that child marriage is freaking legal. Like, I knew it was in other countries. I did not know that here in the United States that we had states that you could marry a child legally. That is insane to me. There's no age limit in some states for a child to get married to an adult. How is that even possible? How do we even live in a world like that? Hold on, I'm closing out of some of these that I already went through. Okay. Isn't that insane? Okay. Colorado Walmart Good Samaritan swoops in to save child from alleged would-be kidnapper. A woman in Colorado has been arrested and charged after allegedly trying to kidnap a young child from a mother inside a Walmart, but was stopped by quick-thinking shoppers. The city of Alamosa, Colorado, posted on Facebook that the police department responded to a call of a kidnapping in progress on Thursday and discovered a woman had grabbed a child who didn't belong to her from a shopping cart. Due to the quick actions of citizens within the store at the time of the incident, they were able to restrain the suspect until law enforcement arrived and reunited the young child back safely to parents. The suspect has been identified as 50-year-old Kimberly Jones from Blanca, Colorado. Jones has been charged with kidnapping, menacing child abuse, and disorderly conduct. The kidnapping, menacing, and child abuse charges are felonies, while the disorderly conduct charge is a misdemeanor. Police say the crime was an isolated incident and that the public should not be worried. The Alamosa Police Department would like to thank the brave citizens, Walmart staff, and community for the quick response and for being alert. So it's a good story. The woman she just was walking by, snatched a kid out of a cart, and thank God for people who were around paying attention. They were able to grab the woman, hold her until cops got there. She has been arrested. She will not be kidnapping anybody else's child. You know, that's a good story. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I don't share too many good news stories with you guys because there aren't too many. So when I see one, I want to throw it in here. All right. Oh, Lord. Okay, hold on. Pulling up the next thing. Okay. Video recorded outside Cosgrove Middle School in Ogden, New York, captured a much larger student picking up a young child and throwing him to the concrete ground. The victim's family filed a police report on Tuesday morning. The bully has not been charged. Now this guy was way bigger. You can see this boy right here. He's small. He's a little kid. And then you have a big bully who's way bigger. He's literally walks up to the kid, talks to him for a second, and then picks him up and like drops him on the ground. Like for no reason. Again, schools. I mean, I can't say it enough. It's just not safe anymore. Do people not see that? And again, in that video, you cannot see the bully's face, the guy who did it. Okay, so that's why I did not play it. Okay. Oh, thank you, Happiness. Oh, thanks, Sass. Okay. All right. This mom trans to her 2-year-old son because he liked to dress up in dresses and makeup.
First of all, I will say that the process, the journey is ongoing and probably will be for potentially her entire life. But here's how it started. So she was designated, assigned, observed male at birth. And until about 18 months, didn't really, know too much, just kind of was raising 2 kids, working full time, not really paying attention to what was going on. And at around 18 months, she started showing signs of like really being interested in things that her sister had and had in her closet, and wanting to play dress up and wanting to put on lip gloss. And when she would see fingernails, she would want her fingernails painted too. And, we thought it was cute. No issue. We had no issue with, her wanting to do those kinds of things. And then around the age of 2, things started to progress at a quicker pace. And so each time that we would go to pick her up from preschool, she was fully outfitted in dresses and jewelry. And so I will say I was super stoked that we had such a wonderful childcare center that she was in, because she was allowed to, experiment with her gender and play dress up and do those kinds of things and have access to them. So when I would go to pick her up from preschool, like I said, she would be dripping in, just jewelry and clicky shoes and all kinds of stuff. And getting her to take that off to go home was usually a pretty gnarly struggle. And then around the age of 4, she started wanting to wear like leggings and headbands. She had this one headband she was completely attached to that she felt, I look back on it now and think to myself, gosh, I wonder when she put that headband on, she thought to herself, people see me for who I am. No one's going to misgender me now. And so it progressed. It just kept moving in that direction with more and more things that started showing more and more signs. She would say, when I wake up tomorrow, girl, we were kind of like, oh, okay, yeah. And my husband and I would be like, we gotta figure this thing out. And so kind of for that final test, my husband decided, you know what, we're going to figure this thing out. We're going to tap into this and see what happens. So he said, I'm going to coach a T-ball team and I want her to be on it. And so I was like, all right, let's do it. Well, that didn't go over so well. She not only hated T-ball, she hated the uniform, she hated the hat. We found everything in the trash multiple times. You couldn't get her out the door to go play on Saturday mornings. And so eventually I thought at one point, well, what if I let you wear your leggings and a tank top underneath, and we can, as soon as the game's over, you can take your uniform off. And she was like, okay. So she wore the headband. She didn't wear the hat. She wore the headband. She wore the clothes underneath her uniform. And she would go to the game and she would stand there. And as soon as it was like game over, she would rip those clothes, that uniform off and stand and proud in her tank top and her leggings. And very shortly after that, she told us she was a girl.
Yep. So there's that. I mean, I don't even What am I going to say? What am I going to say to that? Get some help, lady. Okay. Listen to this freaking lady, right? First of all, I would have been, as a parent, I'd have been like, lady, listen, I pack my kids' lunches. I have to spend money on that food. I can't, don't touch my kids' food. Okay. But listen to this teacher. And you tell me that that schools are not little brainwashing facilities for children.
Hi, Miss Luna, activist teacher here again. And I just wanted to share with you guys about how I am starting a new communist lunch program in my classroom. So what I've been noticing is that my white privileged kids, they have much better lunches than my BIPOC students. So I wanted to make sure everything was more equitable in my class. So we started having a communist style lunch. So what I do is I ask all of the kids to put their lunches all together, every item of their lunch inside of a basket. And then at lunchtime, I distribute it all equally to them so that they can all have more equitable lunches. And I have this one white privileged student, and he's always complaining to me that he's getting the hummus and carrot sticks while the other kids are getting, the BIPOC kids are getting the 6-pack of Oreos. And I tell him, even though I am doing my best to make this equitable, we also have to make up for 300 years of oppression.
Did you hear that? Yep. Oh yeah, that's what she said. So she takes the kids' lunches. She takes the kids' lunches. Okay? Puts it all in a middle. She separates it, right? And then gives all of the good food, the Oreos, the snack cakes, the pudding cups, all of that to the black kids, to the I'm not even going to say that, to the unwhite kids, we will say, and keeps giving this, this kid's like, why do I always get the carrots and the bullshit that nobody wants to eat? She's like, well, I'm trying to be equitable, but we have 300 years of oppression to make up for, so I'm going to keep taking your food that your parents buy and pack in your lunch, and I'm going to give it to these other kids because in my classroom, I decide what goes and I say, equity is equity. Get the fuck out of here. Lady, you should be fired. You don't have any place in a classroom. Get out of here. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of the classroom. You're not teaching shit. You're not doing what teachers are supposed to do. Take that. Yeah, babe. Yep, hold on one second. Take that Black Lives Matter mask off your face because it's political and has no place in a classroom. Give everybody back their lunches. Did you hear her? She started a communist lunch program. For God's sakes. Exactly, happiness. You know what? I won't be sending my kids to school with a lunch then. You know what? Better yet, I ain't sending my kid at all. But that's what I'm saying. It's these people that want to take this. Oh, well, anybody who is white has to pay for 300 years of oppression, has to pay for what people did way back in the day. I got news for you, lady. If you were poor back in the day, you were a slave, whether you were white, black, Mexican, Asian, it don't matter. Italian, it doesn't matter. If you were poor way back then, you were a slave. Hey, guess what, lady? I got news for you right now. If you're poor today, you're a slave because you're going out there, you're slaving a job, you're slaving away to barely make ends meet, to not be able to afford the things that you need to afford with a family. Don't give me that bullshit about white privilege. I'm white. I've never had white privilege, ever. You know what I'm saying? I'm just so sick of it. Don't put it on these kids. Don't put it on this young generation. Don't do that. Just it makes me so mad. Okay, let's move on. Okay. Now this guy is talking to, I'm pretty sure he's a senator. But he's talking to a teacher. All right. Now let's listen in on this conversation. So ridiculous. You better stop it with that egg producing person. That's ridiculous.
Referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. Would that be women?
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing them.
Wow, you're saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide. So I think it's important
Because of my line of questioning?
Because
so we can't talk about it?
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist.
I'm denying that trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies?
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get
So you are
pregnant.
denying that trans people exist?
And that leads to violence? Is this how you run your classroom? Are students allowed to question you? Or are they
Absolutely.
also treated like this? Where
No,
they're
they're
told
allowed
that
to
they're
question.
opening up people to violence?
We have a good
by
time in my
questioning.
class. You should join.
I bet.
You might learn a lot.
Wow, I would learn a lot. I've learned a lot
I
just in this
know,
exchange.
absolutely.
Extraordinary.
Yep.
Referred to people.
See, no, it's people like that really, really, really get me going, right? It's people like that. He asked a simple question. So this isn't really a women's rights issue then. Oh, that's transphobic. No, bitch, that is not transphobic. I am sick and tired of everybody saying it. You say one thing and they're like, oh my God, that's transphobic. Oh my God, you can't say that. That's offensive to this group of people, or that's offensive to this group of people. What? Oh my God. Get out of the freaking classroom, lady. Again, you don't belong there. I know. It's crazy. It is crazy to me. Like, God help you if your kids are in her classroom. You better do something about it before it's too late. Holy moly. Okay. Wow. Just wow. All right. Chris Cuomo, when he got fired from CNN. All right, let's listen in.
Because I was going to kill everybody. Accepted. I had to accept because I was going to kill everybody, including myself. Things can consume you. Italians are so passionate. And I really had to fight against that because, just like you did, I got too many people counting on me. Accepted. I had to accept because I was going to kill everybody, including myself. Things can consume you. Italians are so passionate. And I really had to fight against that because, you know, just like you did, I got too many people counting on me.
Yep. There he is, Chris Cuomo, telling everybody that he was going to come back and kill everybody, including himself. A mass murder suicide. When he got fired from CNN. Lunatic. Okay? Just wanted to add that in there.
That played a greater strength, some where he probably isn't as strong, etc.
I will tell you this, the president is the best communicator that we have in the White House. Go ahead, right here.
That some where he probably isn't as strong, etc.
I will tell you this, the president is the best communicator that we have in the White House.
The president is the best communicator that we have in the White House. If the guy who can't string a sentence together is the best communicator you got in the White House, we're all in trouble, right? Oh man. The guy who don't know where he is half the time, the guy who wakes up every day going, Jill, where am I? That's the best communicator in the White House. Oh boy.
Forced to give up our awards, our titles, not opportunities. The NCAA forced female swimmers to share a locker room with Thomas, a 6'4", 22-year-old male who was fully intact with male genitalia. Let me be clear. We were not forewarned. We were not asked for our consent, and we did not give our consent. If nothing else, I hope you can truly see how this is a violation of our privacy and how some of us have felt uncomfortable, awkward, embarrassed, and even traumatized by this experience. I know I don't speak for everyone. It's impossible to speak for everyone, but I can attest to the tears that were shed on that pool deck by these poor 9th and 17th place finishers who missed out on being named an All-American by one place. And I can attest to the extreme discomfort in the locker room when you turn around and there's a male watching you undress while exposing himself. In addition, forced to give up our
Now that is sad. That is so sad. Because people want to let in males in women dressing rooms and let them compete in women's sports. It's wrong. It is wrong on so many levels. And it is not fair to these women. Where are their rights? Who's worrying about their freaking rights? Well, nobody, because they're not trans and they don't matter, right? Women are being, erased totally. Men want to even take over being women. It's disgusting. Now, it's women like this that give women a bad name. Now, I'm just going to play this and let you guys hear it.
My sugar daddy is pretty high up in a company. It's just kind of nice to know you'll have someone to rely on if you need your bills paid. And he also likes to send gifts as well.
Mine, he is a doctor, but he also is a high up at a very prestigious university.
Ooh.
We take a lot of trips. I'm on his Amex Platinum card.
Okay.
Wow.
That's a hint.
So the one I showed you is a lawyer, and he also does like crypto. I don't know what that means, but he does that.
I was right.
You were right. You were right. And
Yeah.
then my other one, he like invests in real estate, and then another one owns a real estate brokerage.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot.
I know.
Okay, now what I want to say to these girls who want to stand there, these girls, it's, you know, who want to stand there and talk about my sugar daddy does this for me, pays my bills, does this. Do you know how hard women had to fight for rights in this? Do you know? Like, do you know how long it took where women couldn't do a damn thing? And now women are capable of doing pretty much everything. I mean, we're running businesses, we're CEOs, women are the shit, right? And then you got girls like this that think it's okay to be this way. I want to say to them, you don't need a sugar daddy. Get off your lazy ass and go out and work for it like everybody damn else. If you want something, go out there and work for it. Don't go lay down for it for some guy. Get off your ass, go out there and get that shit yourself. How do you expect to get any respect living your life like that? I have zero respect for girls like that. Your sugar daddy? Pay your own bills. Get your own money. Buy your own shit. Instead of talking about how you go and sleep with men for money and gifts. How you want to, you think it's cool to be a little prostitute. That shit's not funny. Get off your ass and go out and work for what you want. Because we live in a world where you can do that now. All right. Okay. Now, I'm not going to show this. This shit makes me so mad. But you got these nurses in these nursing homes who treat these old people like garbage. She's hitting him in the head. She throws him around on the bed. And his son, he would always have bruises all over him. And his son would ask them about it. And they'd be like, yeah, he falls a lot. So his son was like, I don't believe this. So he hid a camera in there next to his father's bed and caught this lady treating this man like this. Now, this is not the only video that has come out. More videos are starting to come out of how elderly people are being treated in nursing homes. It is disgusting. How anyone could treat an elderly person like this is beyond me. Like, I don't understand it at all. I don't, they should all be arrested. They're animals. They need to be locked up. I mean, it's just terrible. But I wanted to bring this to everybody's attention because I don't know if everybody has seen this, but it's happening all over the place. It is crazy. All right, JP, John Podest, this is his wall art. That's his wall art. That's not okay. And guys, hey, I want to, oh shit, I lost you. And I wanted to mention something real quick. Hold on. I want to show you this. See these red shoes? Remember Kylie and her red shoes? Yeah. The CDC says 22% of high school students seriously considered attempting to end their own life in 2021. Numbers that indicate a need for urgent intervention. And again, we have covered this. If you've been following me, we have covered this before about kids, teenagers, and their mental health. I don't believe these numbers. I don't believe half of what the CDC says. But they're saying that 22% of all high school students seriously considered attempting to take their own life in 2021. And again, they have caused all of this, all of it, by letting all of this shit go down like it does. Look at schools. Look at what they're doing. Look at parents. Look at what they're doing. Look at teachers. Look at what they're doing. Look at the government locking everybody down for a year, not letting anybody do anything, not letting anybody see their family and friends. Again, of course there's mental health issues. Of course kids don't know what the hell's going on today. Of course. But put the blame where the blame is. Put the blame where the blame needs to be. Yeah, Betty. Actually, yeah, they live there in Truckee. Wait a minute, I can't find that thing we were, hold on. Where is, hold on, I'm trying to find what I wanted to show you guys. Okay, but I don't know why I don't see it here. But an 11-year-old, I'm not sure where it was. Sugar, are you still in here? An 11-year-old was just charged with SAing a 6-year-old girl. Yeah, an 11-year-old kid is now being, I don't know what they're going to do because he is 11, but with a SAing a 6-year-old little girl. Yeah, it's disgusting. And I can't remember where it just happened. I had the article pulled up, but for some reason it's not here. And that's actually what Sugar sent me on Twitter, but I was like, no, I already got it. And then it's gone. But this just happened. So I was wondering if Sugar was still in here so she could tell me where it happened. Sugar, if you're here, drop that in the chat, would you? Okay. Texas aspiring rapper sentenced to 27 years in prison for child ST. A Houston, Texas aspiring rapper was sentenced to 27 years in prison after pleading guilty to child ST. Reported that the judge overseeing the trial of Arian Jackson called the crimes horrific, added that she struggled to come up with the right sentence. In December 2019, Jackson, 24, was arrested and charged with human T, compelling. Okay, I can't read any of that because those words are all going to get my video put in the back. Jackson was accused of keeping a dozen girls, some as young as 14 years old, and a woman in a Houston residence and teeing them out for you know what. The females were all forced to earn $1,000 each day, according to court documents, and Jackson was accused of threatening, beating, and forcing them to use drugs to comply with his quota. He has now been sentenced to 27 years in prison, and I don't even think that's enough. Honestly. Oh, I'm sorry. It was an 11-year-old boy and a 6-year-old boy. Oh, my God. Where was that, Sugar? What state was that in? Okay. All right, you guys. That's all I got for this live. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please hit that thumbs up or down. Please sub to the channel. Please consider becoming a member of the family. We would love to have you. Okay, it happened in Houston, Texas. That's insane. And anybody who wants to donate, links are all down in the description below. Make sure you guys keep an eye out for my Alex Murdaugh video later today. I just couldn't fit all of that into this as well. It would have been way too long. We're already at 2 hours. So, and please come back when this is over and leave comments down in the description below. I love you guys. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay safe. Keep asking those hard questions and keep spreading that light. I'll see you next time.